welcome to the deep dive. For you, our listener, especially if you're always sort of digging into how human connections work. Well, today we're exploring something really interesting. It's about the evolution of love, specifically, how it can actually grow instead of just, falling. Our source is The Quiet Bloom of Love, and it gives this beautiful picture of a relationship that didn't just ignite, but really developed out of a deep friendship.
Exactly. And that's such a contrast to the usual stories, isn't it? That lightning strike idea. So our mission really is to challenge that common narrative. We want to look at a more nuanced, maybe more organic process. We'll use the story of Nora and Ayesha from the source to see the value in understanding those subtle shifts. The quiet ways connection deepens over time.
Right. Not just the sudden spark, but the slow transformation. Okay, let's unpack this. Let's dive into how this connection transformed, drawing on the quiet bloom of love. So the source introduces Nora and Ayesha meeting in college. And their bond, it says, was different almost immediately. They clicked over shared interests, books, coffee, those late night talks.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just common ground. It felt deeper, warmer somehow, like finding a missing piece, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, those early interactions, they seem small, but the source really highlights them as foundational. Think about moments like Aisha just holding Nora's hand when she was upset after an exam, no big words needed, or laughing so hard they couldn't breathe in the student cafe.
Yeah, those specific little moments.
Exactly, that consistent vulnerability, that shared joy. It's not just being friendly, it builds profound comfort, real intimacy. Psychologically, we'd call it building emotional attunement. They become really synced up. And the source stresses it was the accumulation of these authentic, everyday moments, not grand gestures, but consistent, quiet connections.
That makes sense. It's the buildup. But then, okay, here's where it gets really interesting. There's often a point, right, where friendship might become more. The source described this pivotal moment, a rainy evening. They're sharing an umbrella, very close, quiet. And there's this secret smile between them. Then Aisha whispers, almost afraid to ask, have you ever wondered if this is more than friendship?
Wow.
Yeah. And Nora's heart, it says, just started racing. And she replied simply, I have.
This raises an important question, doesn't it, about the nature of that turning point? Because when they finally kiss that night, the source is very specific. It says it was not out of impulse, but out of years of silent love. So that kiss wasn't the sudden start of something new.
Right. It was more like acknowledging what was already there.
Precisely, a culmination. It speaks to the idea that love can be this slow burn, this deep understanding that finally, consciously ignites. It grew from all that sustained warmth and connection they'd already built.
So what does this all mean? What's the big takeaway here? I think the source puts it beautifully. What began as friendship bloomed into something beautiful. They didn't fall in love. They grew into it together. It really reframes love, doesn't it? Not as this accidental fall, but maybe as a deliberate, shared journey.
Cultivated.
Yes, cultivated is a great word for it.
For you, our listener, maybe this deep dive makes you reconsider things. How do you see love? Is it always that sudden plunge for you? Or have you maybe felt it as more of this gradual path built on quiet moments?
And that idea of growing into love, it really encourages us to value the roots, the foundations of our relationships. It's a reminder that maybe the deepest connections aren't always the loudest or fastest, but the ones nurtured with intention over time. Recognizing that shared history can be incredibly powerful.
Definitely food for thought. What seeds of silent love might be quietly blooming around you right now, just waiting for a little recognition, a little nurturing? That's all for this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring.